Hi everyone, I am Camila and I am an advocate of inner peace and happy parenting. Today I want to talk about suicide and depression. Okay, and personally, it's because I was diagnosed with depression before. I was specifically diagnosed with anxiety disorder, and I was also suicidal. Okay, and this is something that a lot of suicide victims are afraid to admit, especially me being a Muslim and wearing the hijab and coming from a religious school. To be able to admit this takes a lot of courage and a lot of filtering all the stigmas that is associated with suicide and Islam, and also being in a Muslim community. Okay, I am sharing this because I am clear. I am not shaming myself by admitting that I am suicidal or that I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder. Okay, and why I dare to speak up about it is because the number of people diagnosed with depression is increasing, and depression knows no background. No, they don't know any. They knows no religion and race and or financial status of a person. It could happen to anyone. It could happen to your neighbor next door. It could happen to your parents. It could happen to your children. And it could even happen to you. So, depression and suicide is definitely not a laughing matter. Okay, I am sharing because I observed a few ignorant comments or reaction from people around me relating to suicide or depression, and sadly those comments came from my family members. Okay, especially after a quite recent incident of a suicide case that's happened in Singapore, where a guy wanted to jump down from a bridge crossing, where the SCDF, Singapore Civil Defense Force, had to blow up an airbed or something for the person to land over. And then I had a very ignorant comment from my family members, and they say that the person wanting to jump down was kind of whack or cuckoo or insane, and they're troublemakers. They're just trash to the society, and this kind of people are better off dead than alive. I was like shocked, literally listening to such ignorant comment coming from my own family members. Well, at least have some compassion or show interest in what could have happened or what would lead to a person's wanting to commit suicide. And suicide does not just happen overnight. A person has to go through a series or a long-term stress to be suicidal. And suicide is not normal. Yeah, it's not normal for a healthy human being. So that's why it's considered as an illness or a sickness. And then there'll be sayings like, "Oh, these are all sickness coming from the heart or from whichever." I would say that don't comment on something that you have not experienced it for yourself, or don't comment unless you know what it is really about. That is all I can say. So instead of saying hurtful things to people who are suffering from depression or suicide, why not practice compassion, empathy, and make the effort to actually find out how you could actually help suicide victims. So if you can't do anything about it, hush.